What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the top of the map in the red color, playing as Poseidon. His name is Matreiuss. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Set. His name is Joe. Joe the Great, Joe the Wise, Joe the Set player. This one's going to be exciting. Can't wait to see this. Joe playing a Set. Set, I already said this once before that we started here, but Set versus Poseidon, and I'll explain why, but Set versus Poseidon is one of the hardest matches in the game for Set because Set has to not only get through ceasefire, which really, really hinders any sorts of timings, but also then has to get through all the militia that spawn after the fact. And why is that so hard? And why does that matter? It's like, why does Set need to win? Why does Set need to do a timing attack? Because Set's late game is so rubbish that, and well, more so, Poseidon's late game is just so absurdly good. Militia, Colossus, Plenty Vault, all the things like Heliopoli, all of those things are so strong for Poseidon that, in essence, all Poseidon needs to do here is not lose the game. And what I mean by not lose is like, ensure you've always got gold income coming through, ensure you're not down 4 to 2 town centers, things like that. Not lose the game and Poseidon wins. Whereas Set can't just sit back here. Set has to push the envelope, try and find a victory here early in this game. I'm really excited to see how Joe's going to play this one because he's a stronger Egyptian player than I am, and even though his build orders are a little bit whack, I give credit where credit's due. He does come up with some good mid-game and late-game ideas for Egyptian to find advantages in these sorts of matchups. As we do see the Katoskabos coming through here with the help of this monkey. He's going to be clowning around over here, but Matreiuss putting the effort in to send the villager forward and push the priest back. He doesn't even care. Well, the villager's a little bit drunk here. It would be good if the villager just didn't miss. That would be much, much better. Anyways, priest is now sent packing, and no hunt conversions there for Joe. It's amazing that like, and you can play around someone trying to convert hunt so easily as Greek. I mean, it blows my mind that you can just send a villager there. Wild. Sorry, there's been a lot of comments that I just don't understand lately, and I'm really glad that a player of Matreiuss's caliber has shown that it's a possibility. Anyways, onwards and upwards. Temple coming up here for Joe in his main base as he is ready to start protecting himself. He's got a really, really nice defensive map here with these forests, these houses coming up, the sentry towers on this position. Really, really nice for this. Not going to be getting under any pressure from any sort of Hippolyta shenanigans, so nothing to worry about where that's concerned. As the village is going to finish up on this giraffe, and Joe looks like he's going to have a little bit of a late classical age. Matreiuss on the other hand, I mean, a fairly decent one here. I think, did he get a Jason out as well? Yeah, or Theseus, excuse me. So he's basically gone for a 344 plus Theseus. There is the armor of Achilles here, which is a really, really good relic there with the infantry hack armor. As we do see Matreiuss now marching forward to take these villagers out. As Joe has to pull all the way back into his main base. He does have up a monument already. Can go for these town centers on the back here. Is he going to do that or not is the big question. And on maps like Oasis, I do think the best way to play is at all costs, at least get yourself 2 monuments up by the time your second town center is up, so you can spam out those gazelles, so you can have a really, really nice classical age, nice heroic age. If not, get a 3rd monument. Honestly, 3rd monument, super good. Allows you to support somewhere in the vicinity of 18 to 20, probably 18 villagers on food consistently with just giraffes spamming out. Or spam yourself out a ton of scorpion men or something like that to work out. What relic did Joe get? He got himself the blue crystal shard, which is a funky relic. It gives 5% bonus 5% bonus gather rate, but in the end, is it really that good? As you see the goats getting sent around as Joe wanted to steal those. He wasn't ready to shifting sands anything in particular. Instead, just going to be checking out what's happening in the base. Sees no villagers in the base here on gold and not very many on food. He can basically guess that a town center is coming for him, as Matreiuss is going to sit back here with his Achilles. Town center going to be coming up over here. Joe does have himself a decent amount of favor in the bank to spam Gazelle out straight away, but no second monument is a little bit disastrous here. Joe also idle town center time here. After all is said and done, going to be a little bit difficult. Whereas Matreiuss, he's got a beautiful amount of berries over here, and that's going to help him out a ton in this position. This helps. This is so important, having close food to a second town center. Even though it's berries and not hunt, it's still a big deal, as the villagers here are going to be able to gather all of these resources as best as he can. So now the goat's coming over here. Do I have a comment over here from a clan mate? Rageless Ryfang. How you going, my friend? I don't see how Set wins with this passive start. Fast second town center. There's nothing really bad per se about going 2 town centers against Poseidon. It just means that your game plan is to get a gold starve, either with a heroic age timing or a mythic age timing. That's generally your game plan. Now, whether or not it works against Poseidon, not 100% sure it does, but depends on the map, obviously. But right in this game, what Joe needs to be able to do, he needs to break through this town center to get onto these back gold mines, plus also have an eye on this top gold mine over here. So he's got a lot of work for him in this game to find a win, or at least find a way to push Matreiuss out of this game. Whereas Matreiuss just kind of has to start doing what he's doing, which is just getting the walls up, doing all the good things where that's concerned. Armory coming up here for Joe, and it kind of looks like Joe at this point will be able to get somewhere between a 9-minute and a 9-minute 30 heroic age. And there's the units coming up on this top side for Matreiuss as well. Not too worried about units coming down onto the bottom here, though. They can literally attack anywhere. As Nephthys now coming through for Joe. And where to next? Still just the 1 monument for Joe as well. So he's not going to even be able to spam out Scorpion Men here. His village is currently idle over here. Has to sort that out. But I'm sure he's going to work that one out soon, as he does jump onto the goats over here. And a barracks does get dropped down. So generally speaking, the current best in slot army comp against Poseidon, now whether it is actually the best army comp or not, I don't know, is some version of Spearman Chariot Archer. I've seen people suggest cavalry to me, but I just don't think that cavalry unless you're playing as Ra, I don't think cavalry are an option for Egyptian. They're just not strong enough in the slightest. There's medium cavalry now coming through for Matreiuss as well, getting set up on that one. Slingers. Now, slingers are a bonus for Set. Set does have stronger slingers, and those slingers will be able to pick off some of those Toxotes there. As Joe now under a little bit of harassment, but honestly, Matreiuss probably shouldn't care too much. He shouldn't overcommit too much onto taking this Migdol stronghold down. As the Hippolyta pushing forward here. That's the Wadjet getting pulled back. Nice play there. Is the Scorpion Man going to get a little bit of damage here? And Migdol stronghold up. Giraffe of Set ready to get eaten over here. And do we see a bunch of those giraffes coming through or not? Is the big question. Looks like the answer is not, unfortunately. Does have another one, but I imagine Joe will probably go for Shadoof here. A lot of Set players, they kind of prefer to have that favor to build more Migdols or get more technological upgrades or get myth units rather than spamming out the giraffes. But Joey's building a handful of them. He doesn't auto queue them, but he's just building them manually, which I do like to see. And Matreiuss is starting to get himself a decent army on this position, but I think Joe kind of knows he's on somewhat of a timer here. But he hasn't gotten himself out any siege. So the only other option here is to hit some sort of a tornado timing attack. So if Matreiuss knows that, all Matreiuss has to do is hit a decent heroic age to get himself fortified town centers and masons, or even just masons and put a whole bunch of stables around your town center, and you're golden with defending against any sort of timing that comes through. There's Joe now pushing forward, going to try and get himself this gold mine secured. Matreiuss has got a really strong army here. Though the slingers are in, as we do see, shifting sands onto this position, hitting a whole bunch of units. They're very, very similar to a curse, as a couple of these units will get away, but a lot of them do end up falling. So even though there's no box there for that shifting sand, still does a decent amount of damage, as Joe's now on this gold mine. He's trying to get up onto here as well. Scorpion Men retreating back here as the slingers pushing forward. We do see a Ancestors getting dropped down here. Will Joe go for the town center is the big question. I think he wanted to drop the Ancestors there to force a ceasefire out, but Matreiuss is too smart for this. Generally speaking, the goal of a set player in this matchup is to trade Ancestors for ceasefire, and Matreiuss realizes he can just pull back through this wall and call it a day. That's literally it. And now Joe's got only one god power really remaining. Does he have vision? No, he doesn't. He's got one god power remaining for the Mythic Age. So he's going to get that third town center. Doesn't mean Joe's out of it just yet. There's still, the army of Set can still push through, can still beat Poseidon for a little bit longer in this game. I'm saying this at like 12 minutes, like the game's over. No, the game's still possible for Joe to win. Just Matreiuss has got a lot of, there's a lot of points that Joe's going to have to hit here to find an advantage moving forward. Also, we have to remember that Joe's Egyptian is the best in the game, so he's one of the best tower places, the best wallers, the best trade spam, the best, like one of the best where that's concerned, especially with a god like Set. This Matreiuss now going to get himself that third town center. We see an armory coming up. Matreiuss is a ways away from that heroic age, which does mean with heavy chariots coming in, Shadoof coming in, plow coming in as well for Joe, he's going to have a lot of economy coming his way. Another monument coming up on this position as well. That's the Pharaoh over here saying good day. Do we see a market? Yes, we do. Joe wants to go that way. And I love that Matreiuss has kind of dictated for, I don't know if he's done this on purpose or not, but the way that it's turned out is Matreiuss has dictated for Joe's army to be on this side, which means the very best thing for Joe's in this game, the very best option for Joe in this game is to kind of just continue pushing through into the main base where there's no gold mines, so there's nothing for him to attack. And the thing that's really, really important here for Poseidon is to have a lot of gold to spam out Hippocon when he's trading those Hippocons. So hitting that gold on top of it is really, really important. And Joe's just not going to be able to do that. Meanwhile, we've got side builds starting here for Matreiuss as well. As Joe pulls back, and we'll see how he's going to manage to make this one work here. I think maybe if Joe just went down to the bottom gold mine instead of these four ones and ignored the town center, went heroic Mythic Age, probably another option there. Good micro here from Joe, pulling back those spearmen nicely, but now the Hippocon coming in. There's the curse getting dropped down, and now Joe has to pull back even more as the Hippocon are going to continue to push in here. We've got the fortified town centers. Mercenary cavalry are going to be popping out here, though, to start targeting down those medium Toxotes there. As the Nemean Lion pushing forward, we do see a temple coming up on this position for Matreiuss as well. Just a handful of those mercenary cavalry coming up. As the priest tickles the Nemean Lion. Like, if it's not for funeral rites, right? If it wasn't for funeral rites, there'd be like every Hades and Poseidon player against Egyptian would just spam Nemean Rexus, the upgraded version of the Nemean Lion. Because you get like, I can't remember the exact upgrade, but your stats, but you do go up to like 80% pierce armor, which is a huge boost, an absolute gigantic boost to your pierce armor. This basically means these priests that even though they're doing 3.6 times 600, I think, 600%, bonus damage, they tickle. They tickle, that's for sure. So Matt's pushing through here onto this position. Artemis is going to be coming through as obviously Joe's got no real protection around this town center. Earthquake breaks this town center, breaks this Migdol potentially as well, and then this position is going to be completely open here for Matreiuss's taking. As Joe's now ready to advance, he does pick Horus here, so no Thoth. I mean, kind of feeling like Thoth is the better option here, just on the fact that this game is going late, and the only real way for Joe to win is to hope Matreiuss goes Artemis and hope he can defend against an Earthquake push plus everything else that comes through here. So we do see the Chariot Archers searching up onto this position. Barracks coming up over here, plus the siege works. As Joe pushes back through here as best as he can. But the thing is, these Toxotes, they're just so absurdly strong. They're 2 pop, they're doing nearly 8 damage a second versus a 3 pop Chariot Archer doing 10 damage a second. This means these Toxotes are just getting the better side of it after all is said and done. Plus these Hippocon are just so obscenely strong. Earthquake dropping down. Town center about to fall. Doesn't go down. Doesn't quite go down. 488 HP. Joe managing to survive here. Did he have himself upgrades there? He does have Mason. So he manages to survive here. But the Hippocon targeting down the town center as the mercenary queuing up here. Toxotes pushing forward here. The Chimera is in as well. How do you kill that Chimera? There's another one in already as Matreiuss immediately starts training that. The Migdol Stronghold now under fire here as the Pharaoh coming through trying to help out here as well. There's the Mythic Age for Joe. Where's the Tornado going to get dropped down? Is this gate getting targeted down here? Meanwhile, Fortified Town Centers is in for Matreiuss. He doesn't have himself Mason, so the Tornado still will kill that town center unless there's a building next to it to help it out. And now Joe's coming over with his Hippos of set, with his Rhinoceros of set. The Avenger going to try and help out, but I mean, it's such a tough ask here. 3 Chimera are in. Is there funeral rites in? There isn't even funeral rites for Joe. As the Spearmen doing their best here to help out, but Matreiuss is in full command in this game. As the Rhinos trying to help out, but what else can Joe do? He's got himself a Tornado, so he could like go for a Titan Gate in a way. But no trade route. 61 villagers at the moment. Lost around 20 after that fight here. The Chimera all retreating back. Town Center going the wayside of Matreiuss. Matreiuss still has ceasefire as well. Still has ceasefire as well here. And Joe's like, he's on 0 resources. He's trying to spam these Spearmen out. Heavy Spearmen might seem like a good option, but with all these upgrades for Matreiuss, I mean, the Spearmen just don't even trade well. They're doing like 10% bonus damage. Which doesn't cut it. Tornado getting dropped down immediately here. Matreiuss, still no Masons, but the Town Center will get taken out. So, at the very least here, Joe gets a little bit of value there. At least it should kill the Town Center. I'm not 100% sure if it will. Victory for the Tornado. Copper weapons coming through from Matreiuss. Carpenters as well. Pharaoh getting sniped down. On the bottom side of the map, not a whole lot of stuff happening. Joe's 60 population remaining here. Retreating back with his villagers. As the Hippocon starting to move in here to kill off that Migdol Stronghold. We do see the Chimera coming through as well. And in that moment, Joe does tap out. And Matreiuss gets a very, very clean victory here. A very, very tough one for Joe. It's like, this map is so hard to kind of decide what to do for set. Like, in a way, you kind of want a classical fight against Poseidon. If you get a map where you can classical fight against Poseidon, you're like, great. Set can classical fight against Poseidon. Set can make the Poseidon player have to spend resources on units, delaying that power spike, that mid-game power spike, that late-game power spike by enough that Set can use his bonuses to try and find a gold star, try and find a victory. But on Oasis, it's like there's no food. You can kind of go like maybe for a 3 monument. classical age advance and spam Gazelle and go for a classical fight there with the idea of trying to stop the town center from going up. But even then, I don't even think you can even do it. Like, ceasefire maybe comes through to get their town center up, but I don't know, man. It's such a tough ask here for Set to do anything apart from 2 town center timing attack, and Joe just couldn't quite make it work in this one. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.